Hey everybody, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and we're continuing our series 5 minutes to better lighting today, and we're talking about what to pre-record and what to run on the fly in your lighting show. And actually, let's fix this exposure for the camera a little bit. That's not so bright. But seriously, one of the biggest decisions that I always have, and I mentioned this before, is when I'm sitting down to program, say in a console like Onyx here, it's what do I break up into individual cues versus putting into one big cue list or into big cues that control a lot of things. And truth be told, I really like to do a combination of completely on the fly versus completely pre-programmed. On the fly side of things, as I've talked about before, it's wonderful to be able to just press a button and change one set of lights real quick. But then I also like the ability to really quickly and easily be able to press one button and have it go ahead and set up a bunch of cues for me. Like that, and do everything at once. So what's the answer for you? Well, this is probably one of the hardest things that was to learn for me as a lighting designer. In fact, you could even go in most major consoles, like especially in Grand MA, Camsys, or Onyx, you could go ahead and totally, run everything off the fly. Not even pre-program everything before the show starts. You could just pull things out and run it live from your programmer. We're going to talk a little bit more tomorrow about how that works. And you could record stuff as you go and totally make a show off of that. Is it intense? Does it make my heart jump across the room when I think about it? Yes, but have I done it? Well, yes. Because sometimes you're thrown into a situation where you literally have no time to program. So when you do have time to program, what you really want to think about it as you're settling in, you're sitting down to program, you want to think about, okay, in this particular show, and you may or may not have all this information when you start programming. That can be the fun of shows sometime, right? You don't always know what exactly your client's going to ask for. But to the best of your abilities, you want to think about, okay, for this particular show, what can I have happen all together? And what do I need individual control over as I'm running the show? Maybe, for example, for your backlight, you don't need individual control of that. Or maybe you can use an inhibitive fader to pull that back at times when you might need to pull it back. Maybe you don't need to have individual control of things at all. Maybe you just need some buttons that, change the colors. And then maybe you have one button that sets the overall look and, the position and all kinds of stuff like that, right? Maybe you have for your client, they want a couple complete looks. Maybe they want one like this that's red blue with these cut positions. Then they want one that's cyan blue with these. And then they want one that's cyan yellow with these. And you could just record those on buttons and be good to go. The point is that there is no right answer when it comes to pre-recording versus not. I just want to make sure, as I've mentioned in these various videos about how to program versus run things, how to choose faders, buttons, all that stuff, I just want to make sure that you have enough flexibility in your programming, no matter what you're doing, that you're able to create everything on the stage that your client, whoever's in charge of you, is asking for. So one of those things is that when somebody asks for something that you can't do, how do you make that happen? Okay. And you can do that by running things out of your programmer. And I'm going to show you how to do that in tomorrow's video. Until then, if you've been enjoying this and you want to learn more, check out Learn Stage Lighting Labs. Okay, guys, I haven't actually mentioned that one here this month at all. We've been talking about Patreon a lot, which is a great way to help support us. But, we're getting pretty deep into the weeds here. And if you want more information as well as the personalized support that I'm able to offer through our forums, go check out the labs. Then make sure you're subscribed here. And tomorrow, we're going to talk about running things out of your programmer. It's going to be a blast, and it's not as scary as you might think.